I'm going to say, this is my big thing. Like, I love this idea. You don't have to be from a financial background to be a financial leader.
Yep.
Like what you're breaking.
Squeeze into the middle, squeeze into the middle.
Testing. I think mine's working.
I think so.
Yeah, you can
Testing, test.
I can hear it, yeah.
Perfect.
All right, y'all.
Hello.
All right, we are ending our day one. How are people feeling right now? Yeah? Sweet. Okay. I am joined by our Executive Director, Lynn von Cook-Lieberg. We have Matt. Yeah? Anything? Anything you want to add?
Oh, no.
Okay. So
I'm
we're just
very
up here
tired.
closing it out. Briefly, just wanted to check in with folks, wanted to see how you all were doing. Anything resonating today? Anything anybody want to share?
Maybe I'll go first while folks think a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was, I really enjoyed the sessions today and having an opportunity to network, see new folks again, and then also reconnect with folks that I haven't had a chance to see for a while. And I was thinking about what are kind of the things that resonated with me from kind of the sessions and the discussions. And I think There was one comment that was made that I really liked, because I think that as we were listening to one of the sessions that was really focused on capital stack and financing, and there's a recognition that it's difficult, or it can be, and that we're also wearing different hats than we're used to when we're really thinking about loans versus grants and how this all works together. And the comment that was made that I really liked was, you don't need to be from a financial background to be a financial leader. And what I really liked about that, it was this focus that what we're bringing are these ideas, the concept, the process, the vision, and then a lot of the other parts kind of follow, and that there's time and there are places and there is support that then will continue to help those pieces mature. And kind of pulling from that too, there were a couple places where last year I remember thinking, I don't know if we know exactly what's coming. We know that the IIJ money, the IRA money, they're out, there are all these new funds, we don't know how they're going to be. This seems really complicated, difficult, what it looks like, we don't know. And then this year I saw incredible graphics saying, this is how this is going to work. These are how these things come together. And I thought, we've made so much progress since last year. We have more clarity on what the paths look like. But we also see that the paths are tricky and full of steps and require a lot of resources. And so then something else somebody said that really resonated with me was that in this process, we don't all have to be experts. Instead, we should be seeking communities and places where a lot of this work is being done so that we can build on and become part of that community of practice that has figured out that piece. And so if we kind of move together collectively through this process, we're going to get to the outcomes that we're seeking. And so those things really resonated with me today.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the municipal finance session, the one with Elemental and Lendistry, and I think that conversation really highlighted a few things for me, like what Lynn was talking about, and I think, like, especially from last year, we were really in the dark about what this looked like, but even without a tranche of federal funding coming, there's still a system and a process that around community building, like community assets, building wealth based on those assets that we can embrace, that is can complement all of the work that we're doing from a planning standpoint and bridging that work and that infrastructure that we have in planning with the new community finance toolkit. And I found that empowering in that in this role for us to expand our focus from planning to implementation.
Yeah, I loved several of the sessions that I was able to pop into. Shout out to all the energy convening and conversations that we had today. I think it really helps when we have folks actually speaking from community that actually help us rationalize how this stuff should be working. Seeing the toolkits really help us go a long way. We're able to share that information and get our communities actually understanding how they can do things, what they can do with these opportunities that are coming down. So it was really exciting to be part of those conversations. Community mapping, looking for accountability through that process, always something to be mindful of. And again, as we think about these dollars coming in, how do we really ensure that process? SGC and other staff that are like, oh, we're advocates, we can do this work. We need those reminders for accountability. We need that gut check to make sure that we're still really engaged in community in the way that community wants to be engaged. So it's really exciting to see that reminder come out of that session earlier today as well. And then a couple things to share, and again, asking for folks in this space, if you want to share anything, any takeaways, we have some of the interactive opportunities outside on the hexagon, so we're asking folks to post, to really kind of position themselves around what they want to talk about, what their interests are. And a couple of things that were shared, there's a lot of interest in public transportation, green spaces, collective healing, renewable resources, really interested in what this budget cut means for the state, how we're going to think about federal funding, housing, and regenerative design. So exciting there. Again, let's have those conversations continue tomorrow to see where we want to take this. So anybody in the audience want to share some of their takeaways? We have some mic runners that can do that. Sasha.
Sasha. I don't think I need to stand up. I'll stand up, whatever. Okay. I am standing. Thank you, Jenny. So I really have appreciated the conversations today and building on what Lynn and Matt were just sharing, the spirit of collaboration, the need for flexing the muscle to communicate and work with others outside of our industries or our sectors that we work on. This comes up a lot in housing. I work on housing. And so today I've talked to many folks who are here. I see some of you in the crowd. I might name some of you who have been talking about the housing and energy nexus and hearing a great panel on affordable housing that Shane was moderating and hearing some of the sessions that you were in with Lendistry and others. It feels like there's a good opportunity to connect on the financing component as people are thinking about a pipeline of housing and community benefits. How do we make sure that we're not missing each other with GGRF opportunities? So tomorrow, there's a few of us, including Heather Hood from Enterprise, the new Commissioner Gallardo from the CEC, and many others we've talked to, Jenny Scanlon, Sean Kennedy, a bunch of others who are interested in this topic, so we might convene a conversation about it tomorrow. Thanks.
Exciting.
Yeah, we should mention that there's going to be a kind of a more informal networking session where we're going to kick the tires on any number of potential project use cases tomorrow in the afternoon. So if you have an idea, even if you think it's crazy, like bring it to the networking session and let's. I have lots of. I had a crazy idea today too. I don't want to say in public because I don't want you to think I'm crazy. But okay, I'll sit on.
Halima?
I think the biggest thing for me was just being able to talk to people. There's a lot of people that I've been trying to get a hold of through email about high injury networks and transportation nerd questions. And then I got to meet the folks at Caltran during the implementation portion, and I was like, this is amazing. We had like a 30-minute back and forth, and we're like nerding out, but we're also figuring out like how do we actually move through these problems. And so I think similarly to what's been echoed in the other sessions, right, talking to people is so important. And I feel like COVID really shifted the way that we do that and how we engage with each other. So I'm just really grateful to like be here physically in person with everyone and connect. And then the second takeaway for me is just like the importance of implementation. I feel like that's where so many times like policy, you know, can be beautifully written, but then the implementation gets dropped. So I feel like we learned a lot, especially with tribal communities. I went to the tribal energy sovereignty session, which was really great, and kind of hearing like how do we do implementation in a way that's actually empowering communities. So those are my takeaways. And just to plug, if anybody's using transportation, hit me up.
Nice.
Thank you, Halima. Anyone else? Sarah? Dr. McCullough?
I just, is this on? Yes? Okay. I did the power and accountability mapping session, and I just want to say, like, I really, really love how people are, one, thinking about those two in conversation, because, you know, so many contradictions can arise between how we want to be accountable and where power may be pushing us. And yeah, I just really appreciated the sophistication that people are talking about. And somebody at the end said something about how we are like moving more into these systems of power to challenge them, to change them, to use them to meet the outcomes, to meet the people that we want to be accountable to. And I just want to say, yeah, everyone here is doing amazing work, and I love the sophistication with which people are thinking about them. And I think about transportation.
Yes.
But even to piggyback on that, like how do we create a system that's accountable to all the things that we want to see? So like bottom up accountability, but also top down accountability.
I think we have time for one more share out.
Right there.
So for me, I'm a TA provider, Clancy Taylor, California Coalition for Rural Housing, and it's just been really great to follow up with some of these communities because we help them get these grants, and then we're just, have a good day, bye, and just following up with them and saying, hey, what now? How's it going? Where are we at? Can we, you know, in whatever capacity we can step in, and just that next step and that follow through, and just remembering that TA is not just for grants and just for this one-time come in, help a community, and go away. TA needs to be a holistic, community-based capacity building opportunity. So it's been really great reconnecting with some of you folks, and hope to meet more of you tomorrow.
I want to do a poll. Okay, because one of my favorite things are these placards. Everyone get out your placards. We're gonna do some votes. Okay, so
grab the yellow
Yeah.
place cards in front of you if you're not familiar with our polling.
What's this for?
we're gonna ask questions.
Ooh.
No. Okay, so raise your placard. Raise your placard if you met somebody new today.
Oh, I love it.
Raise your placard if you reconnected with somebody that you already knew. Awesome. Okay, raise your placard if you got a new idea today. Raise your placard if you test drove an idea that you've been sitting on for a while. Do more of that tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, raise your placard if you felt inspired to continue learning about something that you heard about today. Love it. Raise your placard if you're already thinking about tomorrow's sessions. All right. Raise your placard if you're ready for dinner. All right. That's great. All right. Heard loud and clear. Let's.
Okay, a few logistics as we exit. Again, thank you all for being in this space with us. It's exciting to share some libations, some food later on. As you exit, please go out. Once you out into the foyer, take a left. You're going to see some of our pins. Please make sure that today as you leave or tomorrow as you're coming back in, find some time to put a pin on our mapping board. There's 3 different colors. We want to know where you're from. We want to know what projects you're working on and where they're at. We want to know where you want to work at, where your projects should be, where you want them to be. So please do that, white, orange, and blue pins as you leave. And then when you leave, we're going to be walking over to Punch Bowl. There's some folks that are doing some ride share, so coordinate if you need that opportunity to have some mobility options. Punch Bowl Social is over at DOCO, the Downtown Commons area. It is now open, I think at 5:30. You can head on over there. It's about just under a half a mile walk if you're thinking about moving over there. And it's an opportunity to further engage and network. We'll have some prompts at dinner that you can choose to partner and get into. There will be some transportation opportunities. There's going to be some more energy spaces. So please, again, as we go through dinner, find some new connections, bolster your current connections, and then bring back that energy for tomorrow for day 2. So let's go. Yeah. You're leaving Matt hanging. Yeah.